All right, greetings, y'all. So, just finished doing my compost, and it's actually really hot out here. Got my little boots on. So out here in the garden with some water. So just taking a moment. So this YouTube thing, I do have other things to do, but I like YouTube. I think it has a purpose, and I'm all for making a positive use of the internet. So I'm gonna say this. Somebody already beat you to it. So let me say this, welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before. This is Body-Culinary. I share all kind of things, whole living unprocessed foods, eating healthy, cultivating, encouragement to start a movement practice, starting a garden, amongst other things on this channel. So I just did a share this morning. Usually I move on a vibe in my sharing. I couldn't see any of the comments from that last video that I shared. Right? I was just very moved to share with women, hopefully young women like my nieces and so on. Y'all might be hearing my sister jumping on her trampoline in the back exercising. But I share because I share things that I would have wanted somebody to shout with me. See, all my neighbors are up. And I just wanted to share something just about validation in our mental, emotional health. So I'm also a fitness trainer and a coach. Somebody actually commented the other day, said, you would be an amazing nutritional coach. So I just giggled because I've been doing nutritional coaching for many years. I'm also a chef and a personal trainer. So that being said, I come from a family history where there's a lot of morbid obesity and the comorbidities, the conditions that come with that, right? Diabetes, high blood pressure, and I watch many women suffer. And I put together very early on that there were signs, these are expressions, some of the expressions of diabetes and coping mechanisms for stress. So I just wanted to share that, I used to be really, really sensitive, and I'm a very sensitive person, and be sensitive to criticism. It was so important coming out. It was so important to be liked. Maybe this is just a thing with women in general, but it was very important to me to be liked. I don't know where that came from, but I think part of it is just our natural conditioning. Part of it is also, staying out of harm's way, a way to protect ourselves. Maybe we'll stay safe if we are liked. And so with life experience and hard-earned wisdom, I've taken a lot of that off the table, and it has been very liberating and very freeing. And so I would still say I'm sure that there's some of that that's still there, but for the large part, learning to face things that are uncomfortable. And one of them is that for many of us, that you will not be liked by everyone. Everyone does not need to share my opinion. As I've stated, what I'm saying is not the truth. It's just one woman's experience, and it's one woman sharing and one woman's perspective. I can have a progressive or I can have a respectful, right? More so than this is a gym. Respect is more preferable to being liked, and I had to learn that the hard way. When you want to be liked so bad, you will likely put yourself in harm's way. Young women, this could be women of any age. We want so bad, it's subconscious. A lot of it is subconscious. We want so badly to be accepted that we'll do things to fit in, even if it goes against the inner communication of our divine onboard innate common sense. We'll, be communicating, but it's not going to fight over all the noise. So I say that to say, in YouTube and in this culture and this way of communicating where people have cartoon characters or have no name and no face, and people go for broke with their comments, and it's freedom of speech quite often without consideration for other people's feelings. Even before social media, this existed, but it's definitely much more magnified in this realm of communication. So I've had to really sit with that folks are not going to like you. Folks that you like may not like you. People that look like you may not like you. Folks where you may assume that you eat similar may not like you. People that might eat healthy might not have great character. You know, all these variations of human beings. So I have found to address that and to sit with that. Like, why be so uncomfortable about people not liking you? You know, especially when it comes to putting yourself in harm's way. And by harm's way, some examples, because sometimes people, and I would have asked when I was younger, what does that look like? So somebody hurling insults at you, someone I totally disagree with you, somebody wanting to debate or to argue with you when you feel very firmly in your values. People, even if you think you're a nice person, people are not going to agree with you. They may not like what you have to say. And so I've learned through wisdom hard earned through life experience, it's not necessary for people to like you. What is necessary is respect. And there are not a lot of healthy boundaries on the internet. I remember years ago when the computer, when the young people first had more access to the computer, they had all kinds of software and programming you could to try to control what your children were being exposed to. And there's a lot of controversy about that as different laws were being passed that took away a lot of the boundaries. So not only are children disrespected and put in harm's way, and people not considering children, and that is inclusive of the violent video games, because adults want what they want. There's not a lot of consideration for children, and we start making rationalizations. I'm saying the collective adults, rationalizations and justifications for continuing things that could have really negative effects on the offspring. And so now we see there's a total, most people have been very desensitized to violence from the movie screens, what's on TV. It's just, it's like a free for all. So I say this to say, I come back to, I've learned to accept that not everybody's going to agree with me, and that's okay. Just respect. And you can't control what's coming at you from the internet, but what you can do to the best of your ability is to put healthy boundaries in place. And you don't have to argue and pressure use your precious life force currency to argue with strangers. You can just share respectfully and remove yourself. So if someone doesn't appreciate my sharing, that's quite okay. If you don't care for my hair not being slicked back or me not having makeup on, that's okay. I've chosen to share to a certain degree on the internet. And I'm sharing because I want to share. I can. And hopefully this will benefit a young person. It could be a young man or a young woman. I get everyone, we won't share the same views. We don't all have the same values because we eat the same. Again, I don't have illusions that just because someone, we may eat quote unquote healthy, that does not necessarily mean somebody has good character. So there are a lot of assumptions that people make, and a lot of assumptions that women make, that we've been groomed to make assumptions and to trust people very blindly based on their words, their sweet words, without a vetting process. Pastors, religious people, people that look like you, teachers, people of authority with letters behind their name. We've been groomed to trust people and to not challenge many of the beliefs and the traditions that we've come up with. And all of the trusting and the beliefs and people looking like you, or even from you being from the same country, it has not protected the overwhelming majority, not even being beautiful, has not protected the overwhelming majority of women and children from being violated, physically put upon to a point that affects them and affects us for the trajectory of our life. All of that stuff, being liked is not going to shield you. You trying to fit in is not going to shield you from narcissists or people that don't have a conscience or people that's doing whatever the heck they want to do, right? So I say that to say it's okay if you disagree. It's okay if you put a thumbs down. It's actually very respectful to have your own perspective and your own opinion. And so I say with freedom hair, and that could be if your hair is very short, long, whatever it is, even if you're rocking chemicals in your hair. That's another thing. I think someone may expect at this point in my life for me to down somebody because they have a perm. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to demonize somebody in their process. Not my job. I have zero interest. Not gonna do that. So that's okay if you give that a thumbs down. That's not my job. I'm on my path and my journey. I can still learn something from somebody that eats different, has a different skin tone, moves differently. You know, I'm constantly learning. That's actually one of the wonderful things that is that I love about human beings. I can learn from somebody that has a total other frame of reference. I can still find value in some kind of offering, and I can also I'm also mature enough to enact healthy boundaries and be unapologetically perspective for my voice and my experience, my stamp that I'm leaving out here in the world. So that to say to young women, young men, to whatever age you are, respect is so much more preferable. When you're young, you may not get it, and you might have heard it, or maybe not. Respect is so much more preferable than being liked. You can be liked and people not pay you your money. If there's some respect, usually you'll get more of the result that you need. It may not be the result that you want, but the result that you need. So I'll take the respect over the like. And like grandma said, you know, as long as you don't bring no foolishness around me, because I'm unapologetic about meshing out, meeting out consequences for disrespect and mistreatment, be they legal, financial, and physical. So that being said, create a great rest of the day on purpose.